All right. This is take two. We are going to go over my Chess Dojo classical game 3030. I've already done some kind of analysis, but I ended up getting into the weeds of the end game, which I could have definitely played better if I were to practice more. So let's get into it. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, d4, e takes d4. We're playing the Scotch. Now, bishop c5. I have gone bishop e3 before, but that's kind of hoping for this move. I know it's like a move, and it's perfectly fine and sound. I just don't know how to play like queen f6 or that kind of stuff. So instead, my opening course has bishop b3, the Potter variation, bishop d6, or sorry, knight b3, bishop d6, queen e2, d6, e3, and then here we're kind of out of book, but looking at their threats, it's fairly obvious, so we're going to pull out our knight. Knight g to e7, just developing, that's fine, castles, castles, and then here we start our various attacks. They start going on the queen side. I'm going on the king side. h4, a5. I decide here, so part of the reason I went h4 with the pawn was so that I can get this move in. But then I was like, is there even anything to it? Say if I go here, right? And to me, it just didn't feel like there was a lot to be had. I can take out their bishop, but that's kind of like the reserve bishop anyway. And so maybe it was here. Maybe I can start coming here, looking at this dark squared bishop. I didn't actually look at this idea because when I was looking at it, I saw not this, but I did look briefly here, and this starts to become uncomfortable, and I didn't really want that. Even though the knight is technically undefended, they're getting some good pressure on the queen side, so I didn't really like that. So although I did push the h-pawn to h4 for this diagonal, I didn't see it having a super great time, so I just decided to trade off the dark square bishops and mess up my opponent's pawn structure. And then now I can kind of play against this this boy here, knight b4. So there is the idea of trying to kick the knight. The problem with kicking the knight is like takes, and we're just in a world of hurt. So I didn't actually consider a3 really at all in the game, just because I figured they would want this file opened, and sacking a piece for some kind of play down that file would be good. They go knight d8, and here is my favorite move of the game, pawn to e5. You can't take because it's mate. You have to do something because say you try to like avoid losing this pawn, we're attacking the queen. So we're attacking the queen, and then this can't be taken, and so it should be a pawn. Now, rook takes d6 is debatable in this position. I decided on it because it is threatening mate. It is threatening the queen, so you have to do something about it. You have to take back. And then I get to take back with the pawn, and now I'm attacking the knight. If the knight moves, it's mate. The problem that I didn't see in the position is queen just takes back. And it's all kind of copacetic and fine, and that's a little irritating. So here I decided to go g3. The thing I missed in the position, by the way, is instead of taking with the rook, I could have just left it for a second and pushed h5. So now, right, say you basically have to come here, and it's a little more It's a little more nuanced as far as like what should happen. I didn't see this move in the game, so I didn't actually go for it. You could still take. You could still take, but and it transposes back and nope. Here, here, here. And then maybe there are ideas of coming out this way or creating a kingside attack. So, unfortunately, I didn't see h5. Instead, I just took, and I think this was a mistake because after all of the captures, the wind is kind of out of my sails. I don't really know what to do in this position outside of, okay, well, that's done, so let's start to develop. Okay, we're developing our pieces. They're developing their pieces. Queen c7, they're protecting this pawn and this pawn. That's perfectly fine. They're also stopping this. Now, the funny part is I could have lost this game. They could have won my queen with correct play. Say here, right? Baiting me into this move. Queen takes, and I'm like, haha, you've left your knight undefended. Except, haha, this is threatening back rank mate. And how do we defend a back rank mate? It's not fully, right? Actually, we can come here. And there are ideas of, and now you do have issues, okay? Well, you can't do that. You'd have to go. So you have to defend. This is defended. This is defended. You have to defend this square here. So maybe you do something like this. Maybe we do something like that. And then here, check. I'm just looking. Hold on. Oh, I see it. Do you see it? I see it. Bow. You can take, I take, you take. Still looking at it. Oh, that would have been nice if I would have seen it. So I actually thought this just lost me the game. That's funny. I keep stopping my calculation just like a little short, right? Okay, anyway, so they protect their knight. Okay. Bishop g2, developing. And then my original idea with bishop g2, like always, bring my rook to the open file. And maybe I should have done that. And maybe everything would have been slightly different if I did. But I went queen e3 here, which just gives my opponent a pawn, like a free and clear pawn, and a lot of stress for me. Here, and I got to figure out something to do. They come in, now they're attacking. I could have, sure, taken, and then this was actually not a bad position for me. But they could have taken back with the knight. And then now if I try something doofy, like, say, queen, rook c1, which my opponent thought I might do, but I was like, no, that would be terrible. Takes with check, and then I've lost everything, right? So queen c1 did not work because of this move here, and we're just struggle bussing. And so because I moved my queen off of the defending square, I allowed their pieces to just start swarming my position. And kind of because my knights are, well, not passive, but they're both doing jobs, right? This is annoying. Anyway, queen c1, I just blunder the f2 pawn. I think better would have been to take here, because even if they come back, I can now go to queen e1, and it's not perfect, but we're looking at this fork here. We have options. We're only down a pawn. We can make it work. I didn't see that fork just yet, though. I was really stressed about here not really fixing my issue, so I thought, oh, well, let's offer a queen trade. That blunders a second pawn, so now we're just not doing great. And here's the doof move. I freaking take the pawn regardless. Or I take the knight just with a worse position afterwards. Whatever. And then I go for another queen trade. Reason being is I'm trying to guard the g3 pawn. And then on the off chance that they go somewhere else, see, this wouldn't work, right? Here, checkmate. Yeah. Oh, no. So this was also misguided. I probably would have tried to take, actually here, this now kind of works. Even though, like, this is defended. Yeah. So queen takes e3. They drop their queen back so they can take it with a better position. I can't fault them. I take that pawn. Woohoo, check that out. And then, I was always worried about takes pushing, but, as of right now, I don't need to worry about that. So I could have really took this a few times, maybe, not really. But e3, knight takes b6, and then here I won. So I can't go here. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to look at. Here and here. So the squares that I could come to checkmate my opponent aren't available. Instead, I just come back. They check, they come out, and now they're just setting up a discover check. That's fine. I was more worried here. I thought this would have been a stronger move. Like I would have had to. I mean, you're just kind of chasing the queen, and we're showing why the bishop is really good on an open board. But they come back, and then I try to stop everything from happening. They take another pawn. Feels bad, man. They come back, and then here it's kind of a forkable square, except they have this nice tactic. If I were to take, that'd be the worst decision because they would just take and win 2 pieces. So they are forking. I decide to go king e3. They attack my rook. Great. I decide to just take. If they take back this way, I do have. I'm now only a pawn bad. But instead they take back with the pawn. I don't get it, but I do get a different kind of fork. My opponent played like really good defense. If you need to get out of a problem, you get out of it. Like if a piece can check and leave the threat, that's what you should kind of do. So I come up, they move one with check, and then the other. Funny enough, they do move it to another forkable square. But the problem here runs into, again, this kind of idea. With this, though, my opponent does have a bit more of an issue. So here you can't. And so maybe I should have forked it again because you can't actually protect this pawn anymore. You can't check. So maybe they come here. This could be an idea, but then I'm in. That wouldn't be good. And unfortunately, at this point, I'm pretty low on time. 2 minutes when I go here. And so I actually think this fork would have been really strong. Here to get out again, and you can't actually get this out because now I have a passed pawn. And and you can't, and the knight is still trapped. So we kind of messed that up. Sometimes you just find stuff. Okay, h6, stopping all back rank issues because this could be a threat now. And here I'm also looking at like forkable squares, right? This is almost a forkable square if, say, the king was here. So I could here, takes, fork, but that doesn't work. Anyway, so rook a1, the knight is trapped. They attack my knight. I go ahead and greedily, this is the downfall, greedily gobble this up. And they're able to get out with a check. God dang it, these knights. So, king b6, another check. And then we come here, and this was another mistake. I was worried about here, them coming in this way, which is dumb because here, it's the same thing, right? But this way, they can't take my knight, and I'm now attacking the knight. And maybe they go here. Sure. I do have to be careful because this, and I could get forked. There's a non-zero chance I get forked. But I could also maybe, nope, don't do that. Anyway, so c5 takes here, and then this is a draw. Technically speaking, this is a draw. I try to play active. I'm attacking the knight. My king is good. I don't know what to do. I have 50 seconds left. h5 is to stop g5 goofness. They attack my pawn. I defend my pawn. I also am trying to not let the king come any closer to me. If they want to push, that's fine. And we'll figure it out. I probably maybe would have did something like this, right? Who knows? This is still drawing. Anyway, g4, and now this is a problem I have, okay? I should have came back here. Why? To give my opponent time to do something else. Okay, but I get stressed when people repeat moves because I'm like, oh, they saw something in that last position, so they just admitted their mistake and went back. Instead, it's like, well, what are we going to do, right? We're going to come back up here, and I'm going to go back up here. When instead, I mean, we're going to come here? Here. 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 And you can't block anymore, so you have to go back. And then I'm going to come down. And in this position, nah, that wouldn't be great. But anyway, so instead I go rook e1, rook a6, tries to trade. I don't trade. They do the g5 push. And then here, the stupidest move on the board, rook takes g5 because deflect the defender. And this is, a losing endgame for me. There are ways, and part of like the reason the second time I'm posting this is like maybe going to be 20 minutes. Maybe 20 minutes. But I was at like 40 minutes just going through the fact that there is draw chances here if you can do it right. No, not here. No. There was another one, right, where I like here. I think it was here. Problem is you can attack the rook. Sure. But it's going to be hard to make progress, right? Maybe you come here. You don't. And so now you've got to figure out as white what to do, right? If you move your king, if you move the king, right? Oh, well, now I'm going to freaking take this. Move the king back. That's perfect. Here, you gotta figure out what to do with your rook, right? Your rook's in trouble. Maybe it comes here, and then we're back this way, and this is holdable because of the Philidor or whatever. I mean, heck, I can come here. You come up. You still have to deal with this, right? Maybe you come here. Third rank. And now we have the Philidor position, where basically the idea is, I watched a video last night after my opponent told me about it, because he was like, oh yeah, here, not here, but like here. He's like, yeah, this is a draw if you know how to do it. And I was like, okay. He's like, have you studied the Philidor? And I was like, no. He was like, oh, well, that's how you would have did it. It's like, God damn it. Anyway, so haven't done an engine analysis. I've gone through it quite a bit looking at other moves, and I feel like I've shown what those other moves are and kind of some of the calculations I went through. Hope you enjoyed the game. It was tough. This one, it's bittersweet. I think I played decently, at least till the end. But having a draw and then blundering a draw hurts. Having a winning position, because I feel like, where was it? Up in the beginning. Before rook takes, I think my position was fantastic here. I felt really good in this position. There's nothing I'm worrying about here. If I can find the right move. This alignment, who cares? I'm gonna push a pawn and you're gonna be just sad. Yeah. Anyway, so I felt like I got into a really good position. I had a fantastic pawn push. And then here I'm just out of gas and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, and I guarantee you, I'm sitting at the board and I'm thinking, what can I do here? Rook d1. I don't see a big future there. But maybe rook d1 would have been better than, it would have been better than here. Not really, because the problem in the position is if I do something like this, right? Boop. Uh-oh. Oh, don't. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And now I've been hit with a windmill tactic. And I am just sad. Hell. Who cares about the pawn? Who cares about the knight? Right? So, I think rook c1. What can we learn from this game? It would be, one, and games are hard. We need to do better with time management, because this endgame is holdable. Maybe studying more endgames, more than just king and pawn endgames. I was watching a video. I can't remember the name of it, but it was talking about like selfish calculations and stuff like that. And I do feel that like in a lot of content, in a lot of about endgames, like Silman's endgame, it's like, oh, well, if you're a piece up, here's how you checkmate. It's like, okay, but what if I'm a piece down? How do I hold losing positions? Because you're gonna get into them, and it's a bit frustrating. There's a chessable course I want. There's a few chessable courses I've been looking at. I'm not getting them because I'm not gonna I need to finish a chess course before I get a new one, or a book. But it's like down and out how to play in lost positions. So something like that, where I can work on, work on holding the Philidor position, or you're down. How do you search for your own resources in like a position like this, right, where you're down 2 pawns? What's the mentality that we need, right? This would have been bad, actually. I mean, it looks nice, but shit. Sorry, I was looking at that a bit ago. Anyway, so feels bad, man. You know what we're not going to do is go spend a bunch of money on How Not to Lose at Chess. We have How Not to Lose at Chess. We don't have How Not to Lose at Chess, but hope you enjoyed the video. It looks like a pretty short one today. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye. We have some more game recaps coming up.